If you're a nutrition coach having trouble keeping track of all of your clients, it's probably because you're making these 3 mistakes. The first of which is you don't have a proven system to guide your clients through. The second is your clients don't have clear expectations on how and when to check in. And the third is a powerful little secret I'm going to share with you at the end. So let's dive in, starting with number 1. You don't have a proven and repeatable system to track client results. Last week I got this question on my Instagram from someone who had watched one of my YouTube videos on the client check-in process. When she had heard at one point I had worked with 100+ nutrition clients at the same time, she had some questions about organization. Specifically, how did I keep tabs and manage everyone who had checked in and who had responded? I appreciate this question because staying organized and improving your nutrition coaching service is what's going to level up your nutrition coaching business and allow you to grow. This is what helps you, the nutrition coach, make more money and help more people. You see, after working with 200+ nutrition coaches and training them on their businesses, I've been able to see what works really, really well in the nutrition coaching space. And when it comes down to it, having a formal, structured check-in process in place is what separates the people that have a nutrition coaching hobby and are doing it just for fun from the ones that have a profitable nutrition coaching business. This is the difference. Number 1, you need to collect all the relevant feedback and information. As a coach, it's your job to guide a client to a specific result. You set a plan and then you adjust it accordingly based on what sort of feedback and results you're getting from the client. The best coaches in the nutrition coaching game collect this type of information in a structured way on a weekly basis. Number 1, you need results. You need to know what has changed both positively and negatively. Number 2, you need to measure adherence. How well did the client stick to the plan? And number 3, you need to collect some feedback based on things that are influenced by nutrition, things like hunger, energy levels, exercise performance. Number 4, you want to collect some information on behavior and motivation. How is the client feeling in this moment about the process? And number 5, don't make this mistake. You want to know what's coming up with your client before you check in and write a detailed response and give it your all to what's going on with the client. You want to know, is there anything we need to plan for? So this is the information you're going to collect, but how do you gather it? You need a system. You need a system in place to collect all this relevant information and keep it in one place so you can stay organized. How do I collect this? I'm really old school and I like a simple Google sheet that collects objective information like calories, macronutrients, hydration, steps, that sort of thing. Then have clients fill out subjective information through a Google form. You'll have pre-scheduled questions that you ask them that will be reflective in nature to get a sense of how is the process going. When reviewing your client's information, it's nice to be able to assess the big picture all in one place. You may not think this is a big deal if you only have a handful of clients, but if you want to manage more clients and grow, you're going to want to have everything in one place. If you're struggling to stay organized, it's likely because you're communicating with clients in a bunch of different ways. Things like Instagram, Facebook Messenger, text, email, video calls, things are all over the place. Even coaches with the best memories working with just a handful of people would have a hard time remembering what was said, where it is, and where to find it. Pick one form of communication and stick to it. For me, this means collecting all the objective information in a Google sheet, so not only can I see the 1 week, but I can see what happened in previous weeks and take a really good look at the big picture, and then getting clients to fill me in on the subjective information, how they're feeling through an actual Google form. My favorite trick to use with Google Forms is to enable the email notifications for this form, so every time a client hits submit, the actual contents of the form go right to my email. I can review it that way. And lastly, you need a streamlined way to respond. Once you have all this information, you do be checking in the same way every time. This builds consistency and expectations from all parties. Here's the system that I created that allowed me to work with 107+ clients at the same time and still stay organized. Here's what I did. So I started by placing 10 to 15 clients all on one day. What this allows you to do is prioritize coaching on one day and one day only, so you can spend the rest of your time marketing your coaching business and finding new paying clients. Most good coaches can handle around 5 to 15 check-ins per day if each check-in is taking them around 10 minutes to do. What I like to do next to stay organized is put all of my clients' names on a weekly basis on one sheet, separated day by day, and once I correspond with them, I just cross their name out. I like to think of this as the perfect coaching system because it allows you to stay organized and get a better sense of who checked in and who's already responded. But you also need really clear check-in expectations. If you're struggling to stay organized as you scale your nutrition coaching business, it's probably because your clients have no idea when they should check in and how they should check in. The process just isn't very clear. And this happens for a few reasons. The first of which is you've been led to believe that you need to be open access. You know what I'm talking about, 24-hour open access. Clients think that they should reach out whenever they have a question or an issue that comes up. Let's be honest, rarely is anything so important that it needs to be addressed right away and right in that moment. Most people will be able to make the right decision, but only if they're working in the right system. Without clear expectations, clients get really confused about the check-in process and what they need to do. This is one of the big changes we made with Dr. Mark Method client Roxanne. She recently graduated from the program and was able to go from 3 clients doing this part-time all the way up to 18 paying clients, and she just recently quit her 9-to-5 job to prioritize coaching. The same client talking about the same thing, sometimes upwards of 3 times per week. This made her coaching her 3 clients literally a full-time job because it stretched the coaching process out throughout the entire week, and this was fixed with some small tweaks to her coaching check-in process. As Roxanne learned, she was in a much better spot by actually talking to her clients less through a formal check-in process. Let's talk about how to communicate that to a client so you can provide a better service because you have all the right stuff you need to address right in front of you, as well as stay organized so you can actually work with more people. So since most clients will be checking in on a weekly basis, you want to start by picking one check-in day that is convenient for you. So for example, let's use Monday. When you onboard a client, you'll tell them the following: I have space to put you on Monday check-ins. What this means is when you're finished eating on Sunday, you're going to fill out the Google Sheet and give me all the information I need to do the check-in. And then you'll fill out your Google form so you give me a better idea of how you feel the week went. Once you hit submit, this will prompt the check-in process. You'll need to do this no later by Monday at 9 a.m. because that's when I'm going to start reviewing client check-ins. If you don't respond on time, it's going to be considered late and I won't be able to check in with you. No exceptions, but I do understand that this does happen and it does come up. In the event that does happen, what I'm gonna have you do next is follow the exact same plan for another week, and then you'll check in at your regular time the next week. After you submit, I'll have my detailed response back to you in 24 hours with next steps and action items. Crystal clear, right? You may have to remind people of this system and reinforce some of your policies through time. This happens, it's normal. But the more you can stick to your guns, the more organized and the more on top of things you'll be. This means a better, more effective coaching service for your clients. And for you, it means the ability to work with more people and make more money. And lastly, number 3, the secret sauce. Are you ready? Here's what makes the whole thing work. If you want to be able to manage a bunch of clients, the onus has to be on the client. This is their program. It's not your program. This is their results. It's not your results. They need to care about this much more than you do. This is going to mean that they need to follow through on the check-in process. You can't be chasing them. You can't be prompting them. That is a one-way ticket to you doing all the work and them not changing a thing. That's why I don't like coaching apps that actually prompt the client check-in. Sure, people are busy and this isn't their number one priority, but you still want them bought in and you still want them focusing on this process. Now, with that being said, it is still your job to create a check-in process that allows them to check in effectively. But I'll say it again, it's very important for your clients to guide this process. This also means not inputting information for them or doing things that they can do themselves. They need to do that stuff. Not only because they can and should, but it'll allow them to take ownership over this process, which is the most important thing because that's what's going to allow them to get long-lasting results. And that's it, folks. If you're struggling to manage your client check-ins, that's what you need. But as great as all those tips are, if you're really serious about starting and growing a nutrition coaching business, the next thing I'll have you do is watch this video I have linked up right here on the best ways to start a nutrition coaching business in 2022. So make sure to check it out now and I'll see you in the next video.